This is James 1 and 12. It says, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the Ophir elect. Shalom. Yahweh, being in the name of God, who the world ignorantly calls God. Bahashem in the name Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Again, it's not God, it's not Jesus Christ. It's Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. And those are the names you are going to need to call on in these times to come and save you. Ain't no other name given among men whereby we must be saved. The only true names are going to save you is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And they're coming back to redeem the 1/3 of the elect, which you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native, and Seminole Indians. And 2/3 are slated for a sword destruction. This your brother Shadak Shard. And I'm coming back with another quick lesson. Basically going into, we got to endure every hardship and every pain that we go through, as we coming into this truth. We got to prepare ourselves for temptation as we go through this fiery trial, to try our faith, because our faith going to be tested. Getting the kingdom and getting spiritual power and, becoming immortal, those things is not freely given. We got to work up to it. We got to show ourselves worthy. We're going to be tried, and that's going through that fiery trial. That fiery trial is to try us, and that fire is burning the impurities that's within us, man. That way we can be acceptable on the other side. So think it not strange for things to happen to you, because when you come into this truth, man, you're going to go through hardships and pain, man. But those hardships and pains will not last very long. Brothers got illnesses, brothers got sickness, Brothers might not have cars, brothers might not have wives. Brothers might not have money or a job, or a place to stay. But we got to endure. He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved, man. And all these hardships and pain will not last very long. It's only for a moment, But hey, Yahweh Shemashai haven't forgotten about us, man. It's beautiful to go through these sufferings of Yahweh Shai, to be glorified together. It's beautiful. Because these are sufferings of Yahweh Shai. He went through it. Now we gonna go through it, But we gotta last and remain, endure it. And of course, we got an ultimate test that's on the way, and that's the seer. That's going to try us too as well. Because this precept in this same chapter and verse goes to Revelations, the third chapter, the 10th verse. Revelations, the second chapter, the 10th verse, Salakia. But I'm going to jump into it, and I hope it be edifying. This is James 1 and 12. It says, Blessed, meaning favor, is the man that endureth temptation. Temptation goes into testing, and we got to endure the test, that trial that we go through, the hardships, the pain, the suffering. We got to tolerate, Let's go into this word, matter of fact, let's go into this word, endure. for the word endure. It says suffer something painful or difficult. And we're going to have difficulties, but we got to endure it, suffer patiently. Patience goes into suffering, It says undergo, go through. It says remain and exist and last. And that's the whole point. It's to remain, exist, and last. Not stop believing it just because we go through these things. Because, hey, you're going to get knocked down. But, hey, you got to get back up and keep fighting. This analogy I always use, when a lion, you see, is outnumbered, or when a lion gets knocked down or got cuts, wounds, and scars, or even got his eye gouged out, it don't matter the battle that lion go through. He gonna get back up and keep fighting. He gonna show honor. It's an honor to suffer. That doesn't mean stop. Once you get knocked down, that doesn't mean lay there or just stop. Keep going. Because we got a reward waiting on us at the end, you see? That's being beamed up to the chariots, being transformed as we going up into the chariots, being changed in a twinkling of an eye. But those things, being immortal, spiritual power, them battle axes and weapons of war, those things are not freely given, man. You see? Those is the ones that kept believing in Yahweh Shemashah, that fought for Yahweh Shemashah until their last breath. The ones that remained and last, the elect. The elect is going to keep fighting no matter the battle that they go through. They're going to endure it. They're going to tolerate the sufferings and pains and hardships, being ridiculed, persecuted. You see, we got to endure. Because the scriptures say in Matthew 13:24, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. You see? Let's go back to the scripture. It says, blessed, meaning favor, is the man that endureth temptation, meaning testing, for when he is tried. Because we being tried in this fiery trial, It says, for when he is tried, and we got that C-Hip that's going to try us too as well. The MOTB, it says, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to him that love him. And that's the whole point, man. Being written in that book of life, getting that crown, being crowned by Yahweh Shai that overcame the world. The elect is going to overcome. And we got to be as those elect men that the scriptures speak of, man. Continue to stay in this word. Scriptures say, hold on fast to what thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Hold on fast to what? This truth. This knowledge and wisdom of Yahweh Shemashah. Keep it close and dear unto us. This is our shield and our protection. Like the scriptures say in James 5:11, happy is he that endureth. Roughly paraphrasing. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that. This is James 5:10. It says, take my brethren, the prophets, which are spoken in the name of the Lord. Every prophet in his book spoken in the name of the Lord. For an example, you see, it says, take my brethren, the prophets, who has spoken in the name of the Lord for an example of suffering and affliction. Suffering, affliction. You see? And a great example of that is Job. Job kept his integrity. Job made a beautiful point in Job 13, in the 13th chapter, that though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. That's a beautiful statement to have. Even though I might get killed, even though the Lord might take me out, I'm gonna continue to trust in him. And we must do the same. It says, for an example of suffering, affliction, and of patience, Job showed great patience with everything that he went through. It says, verse 11, behold, we count them happy which endure. Yet ye have heard the patience of Job, and we read the stories. Job is a great example on how to be when affliction hits you, or when you're going through suffering. He a great example. It says, ye have heard the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord was very pitiful and tender of mercies. You see, and Job got blessed 10 times more than what he had at the end of that trial, because he went through that fiery trial. And Job represents the elect. You see, we gotta endure like Job did. No matter what battle come our way, no matter what we go through, we gotta last and remain. You know, just like Job. And since I spoken on, you know, let's see here, because we gonna be tried, man. Let's get the prophecy. This is Revelations 13. We'll start at 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast shall both speak and cause as many as to would not worship. So if you not worshiping this beast system, the ways of America, the ways of Esau Edom, if you not partaking in what they trying to offer, then you gonna be put to death. You see, it says, both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. You see, and they got those guillotines, they got these concentration camps just for that. You know, it says, verse 16, and he calls it off. Who calls it off? Esau Edom. He requires everyone to partake in this new fashion, this new product that he's trying to place upon the world, man. It says he calls it all, both small and great. It don't matter your status. It don't matter if you're the richest person. It doesn't matter if you are a rapper or singer. Shit, it don't even matter if you're the police or the FBI, you know what I'm saying? Or in the military. It doesn't matter your status here in Babylon the Great. He requires everyone, that means everybody, to partake in this new fashion, this new product. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor, free and bond, even the ones in jail. It doesn't matter. To receive a mark. Now the mark is charagma. You know, the incision to go up under your skin, small as a grain of rice. It says to receive a mark on their right hand, on their foreheads. You see? And he requires everyone. You ain't gonna be able to, you know, partake in this new world or this new system, this new way of living that Esau trying to bestow on this world. You ain't gonna be able to buy food or get water or shit, even get your money out the bank. You know what I'm saying? Or even just to purchase a car or just buy gas. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell anything without this mark, without that charagma. It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of the man, Esau Edom. And his number is Salakia. And his number is 666. 666. You know, this is that beast system. And here go the punishment for if you receive this mark. Matter of fact, before we get that, let's get that Revelations 2 and 10. Because Esau Edom gonna be putting people in concentration camps. It says, Revelations 2 and 10, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. You see, we ain't supposed to fear or be afraid, you know, because hey, we got Yahweh Bashim Ashai, you know, but some is gonna be caught up and gonna be going into these concentration camps. You know, most ain't gonna believe in Yahweh Bashim Ashai, but rather so run into Esau Edom for help, and they gonna be, you know, deceived. You know, but fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, Esau Edom, shall cast some of you into prison, which is concentration camps, that ye may be tried. He gonna try you with this new fashion, this new product that he trying to bestow on all the world, man. And that's the seer. It says, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. You see, a complete number of days, a week, 5 weeks, a month, 3 months, 10 months, or even a year. A complete number of days. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee the crown of life. You know, we gotta strive for the kingdom. Strive for this truth. And keep his word of his patience, man. And he gonna keep us. You see, Esau Edom gonna come down with great wrath, man. And like the scriptures say in Revelations, the 13th chapter, he required everyone to receive this new fashion. You know, Revelations 3 and 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. You see, which is these scriptures. It says, I will also keep thee from an hour of temptation. People gonna be tried. The hour of testing. You know, Esau coming in like a flood, showing his horns. You know, but we got to keep the Lord's patience, man, the word of his patience, which is these scriptures. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, and the elect is going to keep the word of the Lord's patience, man. I will keep thee from an hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see, because the elect, shit, they ain't gonna be going through all this stuff like Jacob's trouble, martial law, and you know, some brothers might get caught up in these concentration camps, but the Lord gonna send them battle axes and weapons of war, you know, to come get the elect. Because some of the elect might go, you know, get caught up to be tried. But you got to be faithful unto death if that happens. You know, but the whole point, man, It's being the hopeful elect. And that's what we hoping to be. To have that favor, of the Lord. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep thee. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, hour of testing, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold on fast to what thou hast, and no man take thy crown. Hold on fast to this truth, man. Because this is thy life. Back in Revelations, for ones that receive that charagma, it's in Revelations 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed me, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, so if you worship this beast system in the ways of Babylon the Great, it says, for if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark, which is charagma, in his forehead or his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of Salakia. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture. So you're going to receive that whole, destruction, that wrath of Yahweh Shemashah, which poured out without mixture, them drags, that bitterness of that wine, you're going to receive that destruction, them nuclear missiles. It says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, into a cup of his indignation, that righteous anger. You're going to be counted worthy of death, tormented with fire and brimstone. It says, he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, which is the angels, the Elohim, and Yahweh Shai. So you're going to be counted worthy of death, counted worthy of that nuclear missile. You're going to be put on fire for receiving that mark and worshiping this beast and wicked system, man. But I hope this, the lesson is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Abishai, Bahashem Akapadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings, and salutations to the Ophi elect. To the next time I say,